There are great alligators and long-necked geese, humpty-backed camels, and some chimpanzees. There's cats and rats and elephants, but as far as our guests are concerned, there'll be no goddamn unicorns.
Winner! Chicken dinner! Robot lady, sound the alarm!
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time! Oh my God, Adam, you're back! I had no idea that you would be back. I figured what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas. Yeah, but you're here. This is very exciting. I thought I was going to have to do the show myself, but I'm not. Instead, the next hour is going to be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions that they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture and jackpots. As impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, all the way from across the pond and possibly the best speaking voice we've ever had in studio, we have Siobhan O'Brien. Woo! Hello.
This is not the best speaking voice. I don't know why everyone thinks this. I think my new job is going to be a narrator. No. I do want to do children's books though, and like I did actually I brought a book all the way across the pond with me in my suitcase. I had two suitcases actually when I came. And I have wanted to do that for ages because I wanted to, I used to read to my kid, obviously, and it was the Pumblechoke Rocket and it was Miss Pollywobble and Grumbly Witch, and I just loved all these names and there was all these characters. So I was like, okay, I think I could actually do an audio thing about this for
sure.
And I wanted to do it like on a vinyl, like kids songs on one side A, and then reading children's stories on side B. So
I love it.
That's a future project. Anyway, hello.
Well, I can assure you right now, everybody's listening and they're going, yeah, Keith was right.
You know that a guy, I did a gig a couple of weeks ago in DC and this guy, I don't know if he was drunk or not, but he tipped me like $320.
What?
Because of the way I spoke. And he kept saying,
oh my God.
Why don't you just record yourself? Because I could just listen to that going to sleep. And I'm like, what?
You should have been like,
what are you talking about?
For $300, I will record whatever you want.
Yeah, but in a public space.
Right. No, you don't get to be in studio while I'm doing it. You send me a script and I'll say just about whatever you want for $300.
He was very nice, but I think he was very drunk too. I think he was very rich too.
I say whatever and I get paid nothing. So I basically have to pay to do this.
Oh, Gene.
But speaking of making a ton
people are getting paid to do this?
Apparently
I'm going to be paid to do this.
Yeah. She's going to get another $300 from a random dude because she's now on the podcast talking. That is amazing. Speaking of making a ton of money, Adam, you just got back from Las Vegas. How did it go?
It was awesome.
Yeah, did you make it rain?
No, I was not there to gamble or party.
What?
I was there for a conference of basically a bunch of audio nerds getting together to talk about, production and recording and business and, all the stuff that most people would be bored about. I had fun, but nobody wants to hear about it.
Did you get some type of award or anything for being able to make Las Vegas boring?
No, I don't think they have coins for that.
No? Okay. That's impressive because there's a lot of really interesting things happening in Las Vegas. And the fact that you were able to make it just a stupid nerd fest is like a talent on its own. I have to say.
I mean, look at me.
Yeah.
Just look at me.
I'm just saying.
I wasn't going to go out on the town.
A lot of people, when they say, I went to a conference in Las Vegas, do air quotes around the word conference. Yeah, what?
I just thought that maybe you were at like a Trekkie kind of a convention.
Oh, she's
I'm
going
not
for
that
blows.
kind of nerd.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, that's a kind of a stereotype with me. I'm after saying, look at Adam. Maybe it was a Star Trek convention. I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, because he looks like a Klingon. You're absolutely right.
Klingons on the starboard bow,
Have you? You're obviously from Ireland. I think we've all figured that out.
Yes.
And have you ever been to Las Vegas? That's basically our Dublin, right? What is? Is there anything else?
Ooh,
I don't.
yeah, actually, the first time I came to the States, I came with my cousin from Galway, and we have a cousin in Las Vegas. So we stayed there for a week. And so my mother's brother was like a big show band singer in Ireland in the 60s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he was he's kind of a household name in Ireland. He's very, very well known. And he kind of emigrated to Las Vegas, and they were like the Irish show band in the Golden Nugget and in the Stardust, and I don't know where else, lots of other places probably.
All the places.
Elvis used to come and see him and everything.
Yeah.
And actually Elvis recorded a Marty Robbins song called This Time, Lord, You Gave Me a Mountain, and he heard it from the singing of my uncle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, yeah.
Your stories about Las Vegas way better than Adam's stories about Las Vegas.
Funny.
I told you before the show started, I really didn't have a lot interesting to say that it would be funny or anything.
I remember my uncle brought us to, I don't know what they're called. The girls with all the feathers and they're really naked, kind of.
Oh, the showgirls?
Showgirls are,
Yeah.
They're not the Follies, no? Is that their name?
No,
that's not it. What it
No,
is.
they call them showgirls.
I remember
Yeah.
like just going. I actually fell asleep. Going, this is wild, but I can't stay awake.
It's so wild and boring.
yeah. Oh God. Whatever,
Oh, that's amazing. So,
yeah.
well, so that's interesting because we have a lot in common, right? Because you go to Vegas, usually if you're not a big nerd like Adam, you go to like go and drink a bunch and do risky things and fight, or what a lot of people call be Irish.
You see, and that's so ridiculous. Now, there are some Irish people that like to live up to that ridiculous stereotype.
Yeah.
But me, I'd be just like, okay, where is the serious music happening?
Right.
I'd be kind of like a nerd musically for that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'd be looking for the real stuff that's going on, and no, don't give me anything fake or pretense. That's why I didn't really get Vegas when I was there, like in '94.
Yeah.
I think I'd really appreciate the kitsch now.
And also, Keith, you got to remember, that's not an Irish stereotype. That is white Americans who like to pretend they're Irish
That's
stereotype.
true. Well,
Well,
it's funny
you
that
know-
we do that, right? We like boil down whole countries. You've got like Russians, they drink vodka and they wear tracksuits,
and the Polish.
yeah, right. And so we have all of these, and like French people are rude and love stinky cheese, and like we boil down an
Oh, God, does that mean
entire-
I'm French now?
Yeah. So we boil down an entire country into this like one caricature.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because obviously that's not true, right? That's at best one little snippet of like the loudest people, right?
Well, yeah, I
at
mean,
best, right?
as an Irish person, I mean, I've played in bars my whole life, for the last 30 years I'm playing music, but there's certain bars that there's drunk people in all the time.
Everywhere.
But that's the same here.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I rebel against the stereotype only because I'm really not that much of a drinker, and I'm very serious, and I'm, I can have a laugh and whatever, and have the crack. That's not, that is stereotype, and that is something we say all the time, and we really do mean that we're having fun.
Not the drug crack.
Not the drug, but
okay,
yeah.
good to know.
But yeah, the stereotype of like when I started playing music and when I came to the States first, which was '94, and we were in Vegas, but it was in California as well. They assumed, play Mary Black, and I'm thinking, no. No.
Why don't I play my
And
music?
and a lot of people thought that she actually was a songwriter too, and she was an Irish singer that was very, very popular and
Sure.
and a great singer. But that wasn't my thing because I write my own songs, and I was
Right.
always trying to get my own stuff out there. And look, you know yourself, it's so hard,
It is.
And so even now that I'm living here now, 2.5 years, and I still have, will you do the Irish or what is it called? The Wild Rover, Whiskey in the Jar, all these songs that's the only songs they've ever heard about.
Yeah.
And the worst of it all is, will you play the Unicorn?
The unicorn.
The Unicorn. the unicorn I know from Burr Lives on a kid's album that I played, that my father played for us as a kid, and I played for my kid when he was a kid. And so for some reason it became, I think what happened was right? The Irish Rovers were the name of some American band, and they brought out that, and it became a kind of a thing. I was actually abused in a bar for not playing it.
What?
Oh yeah.
Buy a unicorn.
Drunk girl, buy a unicorn girl, drunk girl who came in and said, "Oh, when you play unicorn, it's unicorn." And there's all these. It's like the hokey pokey or something. Do you know? It's like
yeah. They've got that they do. And stuff?
There's a dance that goes with it, and there's green alligators with their hands going like this.
Oh yeah, it's like Baby Shark.
Oh jeez, and so
the Nationals just did that when they won the World Series. Oh yes,
because I've heard about this that the each
whenever they get hits, they do the Baby Shark thing.
But that's because isn't it one guy his kid told him that he wanted that song for his father's whatever when they get a goal or whatever.
So whenever you go to get up to bat, they'll play a song for you.
Yeah.
And so Para, which was one of the players, said the team was not doing well, and he was like, you know what, my kid likes Baby Shark, just do that. And then they started winning.
But because it's basically about unifying.
Yeah.
That's really literally what happened. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what the song is, you're unifying people.
Yeah. So I thought
I shouldn't say that because they'll say, play the unicorn.
You're like, I don't want unity. No unity.
And I love unity, and unity makes me cry, and it's like, oh God. I feel like it's like, what's her name in Miss Congeniality? I really do want world peace. You know, she says that at the end.
So if people don't want to hear unicorn, they could go out to Murphy's on Tuesday, November 26th.
Yes.
And every day after that for 4 more days.
Yes.
It is
correct.
The 26th through the end of the month, I assume?
Yeah.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this before, doing like a 5-day run. Have you?
Oh.
Are you familiar with this, Adam?
I mean, back in the day, that's what they used to do. I haven't, but unless it's like a big long festival, I haven't seen that happen for a while.
I think it's only the Irish bars that do that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So
actually, no, I have done that because I did Irish Fest up in Ocean City one year.
Oh, okay. And they did that?
Yeah, it was like one band for like 3 days or something like that.
Yeah, in one venue or whatever, yeah.
So this is such a great opportunity, right? Because usually we say, oh, there's a show coming up and you should go to it. Here we have a show coming up, and then if you miss that, there's a show coming up, and then a show, and then a show, and then a show. You have no excuse not to go out to Murphy's in Alexandria one of 5 days.
Except don't ask for the unicorn.
Don't, or you will be abused if that happens.
Ooh, I try not to abuse people, but sometimes...
They pay you $320.
You know what I've noticed, actually? Do you know what I've noticed? You can abuse people if you smile, and they won't know.
Right.
Seriously.
Sometimes they'll pay you $320 for it too. So it's another opportunity.
No,
for
I
you.
didn't abuse that guy. In fairness, like, hello, $320. Oh, okay.
And you have a new album coming out as well.
I do.
Right. And we're actually in a really unique position. So we've done a few like world premieres and stuff like that, but I don't think this has ever happened on this show where this, the track that you brought us called King's Fool is from your new album, You Can't Run Out of Love, but that's not even out yet.
No.
When this show comes out, it will not be out.
No.
In fact, it doesn't come out until like January. It comes out next year.
Yes.
And although we don't have the whole track, we have the first sneak peek of this track anywhere.
Absolutely, you do.
So that's pretty darn exciting. So stick around.
I wish someone
had
made a stinger for it or something.
Right. If we only had a stinger.
What's a stinger?
It's like it's our theme music for different sections.
Oh.
And he refuses to make a stinger for a world premiere. I want it to be like world premiere.
Oh, yes, I get you.
He refuses.
And who did you write your little opening thing?
No. You know who wrote that was Ken Evinger.
Who's he?
He's a local musician who wrote that. We put out a call.
Him. Oh, you put it out.
And we said we need a theme song. And he was like,
wow.
How about this? And it was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Ken's pretty awesome.
And is he like a jingle guy or
just a rocker.
Yeah.
So anyhow, let's move on here. Last but not least, if people want to check out music you already have out and you want to see the entire list of shows, there's like 1,000 shows. Go to SiobhanO'Brien.com. Tricky thing, get your paper and pencil out real quick because it's spelled a little different than what you might think. So I want you to think in terms of Irish because it's much more Irishly spelled. It is Siobhan, Siobhan.
Yes.
O'Brien, Obrien.
Yes.
Now, if it wasn't a web address, there would be like special characters and you'd have a apostrophe, but for the web address, SIOBHAN.com.
Yes.
So go check that out.
Exactly right.
And you have music and stuff up there, right?
Oh yeah, and videos and whatever.
Awesome. So you've now been a professional musician. You've gone to Las Vegas. You have you've been an Irish citizen. You're now over here in the United States, being a resident of the United States. You have a lot of different roles that you've tried. We're going to try and put you in the role of editor-in-chief of your own publication.
Oh God,
you get to be in charge of something. So this is called the Weather Report. We're going to pitch you some stories that we found, real news stories from around the internet. You're going to let us know whether or not they make it into your brand new publication.
Okay.
Use whatever criteria you want.
Okay.
So Adam, how about you get us started?
The Faroe Islands to close for maintenance in 2020.
The whole islands.
The whole islands.
All of them.
For maintenance.
All of them.
Would they have to
They're being closed for maintenance.
Would they have to
I would be curious about that.
do they have to dig them up or something?
So the story goes. So the story goes that they've recently become increasingly popular for tourists.
Sure.
But when you start putting more and more tourists on very tiny islands with a fragile ecosystem, shit tends to go sideways.
I was just about to say, I bet you it's like the Roman times with the toilets. Yeah.
So
did you just shit on a penguin? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Get off. That's closed for maintenance. Closed for maintenance.
Are they really tiny, the islands?
Pretty small, yeah.
Wow, they're just
so
overloaded.
to put it into perspective, they're only going to allow. They're basically only going to allow people who live there and 100 volunteers.
Wow.
For I think they said it's only a few days, and that's when they're going to go through and like actually set up hiking trails so that people stay on the trail and not just wander all over the place.
I like that. That's just
repair different.
Yeah.
Repair some areas of the park, like putting up signs and things like that, but getting the place ready so that future tourism, it could be, a little bit more managed and they don't just destroy the place.
Towel off the penguins.
Is there penguins there?
No.
Oh.
There's no chance there's a penguin there.
Because I did see penguins in South Africa because there are different types of penguins.
But this is in Europe, right? This is outside of Europe,
Where is the Faroe Islands?
Yeah.
I feel like, aren't they somewhere like...
Yeah, they're in Europe. I'm trying to remember who exactly owns them. Hold on.
PHAROH.
It's a Danish territory.
It's a Danish territory. So yeah, I would expect no penguins, but
and it's just Faroe.
But you could.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yes, I know that. Yeah.
The only thing I know about them is they keep getting in trouble for whaling, and one of my favorite bands is from there. So
who's your favorite band from the Faroe Islands?
Tyr. TYR, like the Norse god. It's an awesome, like, epic folk metal band.
I have a new niece named after a Norwegian goddess.
What?
Freya. Yeah.
Nice.
And she came to my brother, her father, 2 years before she was born to tell him she was coming.
That's not true.
It is true, and I'm putting that in my editorial.
All right. Put that in. You know what would really fuck with these people is if the day before they did this like week-long closure, you just dropped a penguin on the Faroe Islands.
Why are you obsessed with a penguin in these
Because
places?
it would just be awesome, right? Because they would be like, okay, we got to put a trail here and we need to, what the fuck is a penguin doing here?
It's so funny you're talking about penguins because I just saw some like random post of a woman who was 106 and before she died, she wanted to see a penguin and they brought the penguin into the hospital to her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're 106, you should ask for crazy
Anything
stuff.
you want.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
Right?
Yeah.
You're like, I want the Rock Johnson to make me an omelet. And then like they're like,
I want him to soothe my brow.
Yeah, like hey, he has to do that. Like
Yeah.
and whatever it is, right? Like you could just make anything. I want to see the Pope do a shot. right? And then you're like, well, she's 106. We should probably make that happen. Come on over here. Here's some tequila.
My poor grandfather was like 91 when he went, and he lived with us for the end. And he used to say, I used to sing Scarlet Ribbons to us, and then they'd be like, if I live to be 100, and he'd be like putting his arm up in the air going, I'm going to live to 100. And then he'd say, I'm going to get £100 off the government when I become 100. And we're like, all right, we could give you that now, like, Grandad, it's okay.
Just let go. It's
just
right.
that innocence of, they had no money and nothing when they grew up. Like, so it was so sweet,
Oh, that's so funny. So is it news? Faroe Islands?
Yes.
All right.
Well, I consider that news, but most people don't like what I like because I don't like
It's
novelty.
It's your publication.
And what's the other thing I don't like?
Black people.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't say it. That was you, right?
That's Ricky Doodless. Now stop.
That was not true. That
That's
wasn't
not
her
true.
voice. I just wanted to check because if you said yes, I'd have to kick you out. Right?
Pretense. That's the other thing I
Right.
don't like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Hey, pink pants?
Her
give me
liver.
some with the Pink Panther, though. I'd like that.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so next up for bid, Japan is having a shortage of ninjas despite offering an $85,000 salary.
Holy feck.
Right. You know what I say?
That's probably true.
You know what I say about that, right?
Is it really true?
Yeah, these are all true. These are all
my
real things.
God.
You know what I have to say about that?
Find your terracotta army first.
No. Nice try, ninjas. There aren't any ninjas. Sounds just like what a ninja would want us to believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The little ninja stealth walking. And,
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, here's my take. I don't think Japanese ninjas are even that good.
Really?
I think
Which
they're
ninjas do you think are good?
Well, think about it. You've heard of Japanese ninjas, right?
Are they not the only ones?
Have you heard of a Dutch
Turtle
ninja?
ninjas you're thinking of?
Have you heard of a Dutch ninja?
Oh, no, that's true.
Exactly. That's who you got to look out for.
The turtles.
Right? The Dutch is like the Dutch. How are they going to sneak up on you? You don't know. You never even heard of it.
Well, they've got
They're
flippery feet, so they're not. You're not going to hear them.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so
God.
That's my take on it. But so apparently they have like the trueness behind all of this is there's an area of Japan that's quite well known for having a history of ninjas. And so they have areas for tourists to come to, and they have performers who will do ninja things, right? Like
so that's
reenactments and stuff.
Why they can afford to pay them that, because the tourists will be fronting it.
Exactly. But the thing is, people are moving away from that area because it's quite rural. And so they're moving into the cities and stuff. So they're
Plus,
having
there's
a
ninjas
very
everywhere.
Stupid tourists.
Plus, it's super dangerous to live there because it's full of ninjas.
Stop.
You never know. You have
wouldn't
to
it be
constantly look around. You can't trust anything.
They could just get some work instead, and in Arrow. You know that guy the guy Arrow takes the arrows and shooting everyone.
Oh, yeah.
What's the city
The
he's meant to be?
Yeah.
What's it based on? It's
Gotham or something like that.
kind of Gotham, but
I don't-
it's not Gotham. Whatever, I don't know.
It's Star
yeah.
City or something like that. Or anyhow. So my take is what you do is you save your $85,000, right?
Okay.
And then you bring the tourists in and you go, we are now going to show you an actual ninja using their stealth the way they would historically. And then for 10 minutes, you just have them watch a blank stage. And then you go, done. Right? And then they don't know. They aren't they good?
Emperor's New Clothes.
Did you even see the ninja? No. Oh my God, they're good.
Oh God,
Wow.
That's what's wrong with the world
That's
today.
amazing.
The Emperor's New Clothes. That bothers me so much.
Nude ninjas. We should have naked ninjas. You're
Invisible
a genius.
ninjas you're talking about.
All right. So is it news?
I would love to hear about that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Adam.
France puzzled over, quote, very pure cocaine washing up on Atlantic coast.
Came from Ireland, did it?
It'd be funny if they're like, where the hell did this come from? And just like off camera, somebody comes in and goes, oh, that's mine. And like grabs it and goes off.
So part of the article is, for instance, I'll do my best to translate what the guy said here. It's something along the lines of
Look half.
Oh yeah, look, we got all this cocaine that washed up on the shore. It's washing up everywhere. You should probably not try to touch it. It's very pure. It has a health hazard. So don't touch it. And if you handle it, you're also going to jail. So don't touch it. But there's also cocaine washing up on all these beaches. Did you hear there's also in Florida? It might be the same stuff in Florida. We've been talking to Florida. They're very helpful. They're trying to help us out. I think I managed to translate most of this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We found it a week ago and I haven't slept yet.
So you did touch it.
No. Why? Why
He
would you
only
think
touched
that?
it with his fingertips and he's still just racing around for the week.
Right. I don't do cocaine. I just like the smell of it. So that's pretty great. That's what a fantastic beach activity.
Well, normally, like I have friends at home that are collecting plastic, so, you know.
That's true. Usually you don't find snow on the beach, but in this case, is it news? Nah?
No.
I can't even.
I'm sorry.
I can't even imagine what French people on cocaine would be like. Because normal French people are like, I think I will have some croissants this morning. And it's on cocaine, they're like, I will have a lot of croissants.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's very similar. It's like without cocaine, they're like, I am thinking about maybe some bread and cheese. And then with cocaine, they're like, maybe a little more bread and cheese.
I was say it's like the exact same demeanor as before, but the cigarettes get down in one draw.
Right, yeah. There's no change in how they act. Right? They're like,
They're immune.
yeah, they're just like, would you like some baguette? And then they're like, yeah. And then they go,
From the boulangerie.
oh my God. Yeah, I just went down to the shop and got one. You were very fast. I know. I'm on cocaine right now.
I don't know.
All right, so that
Okay,
one.
we'll say no for that one.
No for that one. All right, fair enough.
Sticking to my guns because I'm the editor.
That's good. You have to have very strong guns. That's very American of you. All right, so interesting. I don't have the headline. I'm going to kind of just pitch this one. The state of Iowa hired a well-known cybersecurity company to conduct physical presentation tests of certain municipal buildings in September, particularly courthouses. So that's where they try to break into a courthouse to see if the security is any good. 2 employees of the company were arrested for burglary in the course of doing their jobs. Here's the interesting thing. They still have charges. They have not been dropped. Since September.
Oh my God.
They were hired to try and break into the building.
Wait.
They got arrested for burglary and they were like, oh, yeah, no, we're supposed to be doing this. Here's like the contract and everything. And they were like, yeah, whatever. And they went to jail. They went to jail for doing their job and they still have charges against them.
Wait, is this
September.
the same 2 guys I did the story about a few months ago?
I don't know. But
Wait.
they did interviews with the other inmates who have claimed that they're also doing physical penetration testing, but it's just because of the long sentence and they get lonely sometimes.
Physical penetration.
Like it's like no homo. It's just because it's jail and you got to do what you got to do. It's
Okay.
not related.
That has got to be told, that story.
Yeah. So they're not in jail because they've been bailed out, but they're
But
going to
they
have to go
still
to
have the
court.
charges against
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm. Even
So
though
is this all part of the biblical bureaucracy
perhaps
that's part of everything?
it might be. I don't know. But
I'm just quoting a line in my King's Fool song.
we haven't played it yet. People don't know you're quoting it. You have to wait until we actually play it. All right. So is it news?
Yes,
Yes,
that's news,
definitely news. All right.
All right. As we draw down on time, we're just going to go into our lightning round.
Yeah.
We're just going to throw the headline at you.
Okay.
If you have questions, we'll try to answer, but we're going to try to keep this one, these last 4
We have about a minute
kind of
left.
quick. So, elephant named after Osama bin Laden fatally tramples villagers.
Fatally? What was that word?
Fatally.
Fatally tramples.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Seems like it should have been a donkey, but but that's beside the point.
Sorry,
Yeah.
hold on a minute. They called him, what did they call the elephant?
The name of
They
the
named it
elephant.
after
Is-
Osama bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden.
And he, quote, has terrorized villages before. And at that point, I think you kind of have a self-fulfilling prophecy there.
Yeah.
you
they named
know
him
what
after
you
a
need to do is change his name
to Dumbo. Then you're fine.
to Nelly.
Is it news?
Nelly the elephant packed her trunk and said goodbye to this. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that would be way better. So is it news?
I was going to go off on a long tirade of why it shouldn't be news because I feel, okay, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there saying it's a negative thing and people start thinking about that again. And then they're going to start thinking about, that's me being deep, So I say no.
All right.
To keep things positive really is the only
that's fine. Last
reason.
One. A homeless man in India was arrested for making a hoax bomb threat in order to get thrown in jail to acquire free food and shelter. Or, in other words, an Indian man is successful.
In getting into the homeless shelter.
No, he got arrested to get free food and board in jail.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't blame him for that.
Right.
Yeah.
But he got arrested for faking it.
Oh. But so did not get any room and board.
No,
So
he still got arrested.
exactly what he wanted.
Same result. Not much of a deterrent.
He doesn't care if he's got a rap sheet.
Yeah.
Like what? I got paid. I got fed. Fine.
No, so he
Do
called
it.
in a bomb threat to get arrested.
I know
and
it
then
sounds
they
terrible,
arrested
but
him for making
that needs to be heard because Maslow's triangle hierarchy of needs.
It's true.
I'm very lucky to be here, and I'm going on my whole positive spin for my whole life. But if I was starving, I would not be thinking about my career.
That's probably true. I think that's a fact. So, all right. So news. It's very important to know that. So in the past, I want to let our listeners know that we would have had you name your publication. We're not going to do that anymore. That's silly.
Okay.
So we're going to move on and be able to find out more about you.
Okay.
Instead, we're going to spend that time mulling over what be a name for a publication on mulling over what it's like to record an album called a song called King's Fool from the album You Can't Run Out of Love. So you brought us this little snippet.
Mm-hmm.
It's called King's Fool. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's about me. What is King's Fool about? What inspired this song?
The King's Fool is about me playing in places where nobody listens and feeling like I have to play the game and suck it up. And we all have to do that at times, and that's fine. And, first world problems, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Here
sure.
it is.
Sorry. What was that? I wasn't listening.
And my assimilation into this country kind of a thing, because it is a very, very, it's pretty difficult. And I speak English,
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's, and the funny thing is, like, I've played it, live on my own or whatever, and everybody loves it because they really identify with it because they can relate it to their scenario of them doing their 9-to-5 job, doing their, having to suck up to the boss, having to, do things we don't want to do. We're not all in our ideal situations, and that's unfortunately the insanity of this world today.
Yeah.
Nothing is natural about going to work in traffic on the Beltway for a fucking hour in the morning and maybe 2 hours in the evening.
It's like an hour and 15. It sounds like.
But I just think it is obscene and not fair, and nothing's going to be done about it. And
it's obscene because in that hour and 15 minutes, I'm not wearing any pants in my car. That's what makes it obscene.
And you've got glass down the side of your car.
Who doesn't, really? What do you find is difficult in terms of assimilating? What is it that feels difficult to fit in about? And do you think it's...
Well, I don't think it's about fitting in. It's just change, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I love change. I actually really love doing different things and moving forward all the time. I love growing. I want everything to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And... But the frustrations of the driving, the whole Beltway thing is just a joke. Like, and I mean, it really is. I've never ever had to deal with that before.
Sure.
And I think dealing with the stereotype of what people want me to be has been annoying. And
well, and we're going to talk about that a little later on, right? Because we have some stories of kind of what that's been like.
Yeah.
And so that's what this song kind of
it's kind
to.
of, it does. Yeah. It's the King's Fool. I play the game. The Dancing Bear, the Court Jester. That's the chorus.
Where did you record You Can't Run Out of Love?
I recorded the album in Cicada Moon Studios in Austin, Texas. With
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
With John Bush and Matt Hubbard. And they're the percussion player and the keyboard player for Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians.
Oh, nice. Okay. Which married to Paul Simon,
yes,
right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So was that a great experience? What was that like?
Absolutely. I mean, I had gone to Nashville like last September, 12 months, interviewing different producers, and nobody liked me there. And it's funny because I say that to people now and they go, oh, yeah, Nashville says that to everybody. And I'm thinking, what? Why didn't you tell me that when it happened? I nearly had a fucking meltdown because I'm going, I'm useless. I can't do anything. I'm just awful. Yeah, they were like saying, your songs are good, but they're not great. And I was like, okay, I won't be crushed. I won't be crushed. I won't be crushed. I'm crushed. So that was in September. And then you see what happened was while I was waiting for my artist visa to come through, I had taken a year out, the first year out of the job that I had at home, which was a special needs assistant in a primary school with kids up to 12 years of age. And I was still waiting a year later, and I was like, I have to work. I have to do something. So I ended up going on a cruise ship, gigging on a cruise ship.
Oh, nice.
So I was in Alaska for 4.5 months, and
that's not horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
That's not horrible.
My hand was just absolutely fecked after it from playing for 3 hours every day. I'd never done that amount, and whatever. But whatever. So
there's a big difference between being a musician and then being a professional musician, right? Like gigging all of the time.
Oh God,
it ends up being almost athletic, right? You have to.
You're absolutely right. Hit the nail on the head. And it's funny. I feel like my cruise ship was what Germany was to the Beatles. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's that honing time that you need. You are in front of an audience, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to people on cruise ships, but there's one or two people listening, same as bars. You're not going to have a captive audience,
Right.
But
if you learn to get their attention, then when you start doing
but
normal
you are
shows,
honing your craft all the time. You really are. So on that, I was involved with the pilot program called Rock School at Sea. Mm-hmm. So there would be these kids that would come on with their families onto the ship.
Yeah.
And so me and a couple of the musicians on the ship would mentor them for the week, and then whatever they played, whatever they did, we'd make a band out of it, and they'd perform 4 songs at the end of their week.
Oh, okay, yeah, we have that near here as well. There's a School of Rock here that does a similar thing.
Yeah, and
nice.
So Matt Hubbard, who ended up producing the record with John Bush, he was on the cruise with his family. It was like 4 generations of them. They were just having a family thing. So his son was in our little rock school thing. So I was mentoring him, and he just gave me his card when he was leaving, and I was like, okay. I had played South by Southwest in 99, and I kept thinking, I need to get back to Austin. I think I need to be in Austin because this Nashville thing is not working out at all.
Right.
And
I'm too busy crying.
I'm too busy crying. And so I set up about 4 or 5 different interviews with different producers down there. And Matt and John were the 5th out of 6.
Wow.
And I just knew when I met them that was it. And it was so great because there was nothing as strong with anybody else. So we just hit it off so well together, and there was just everything was easy. Everything was easy. It really was amazing. It really was amazing.
Sometimes it's kismet like that.
Yeah.
And likewise, so you've got this album coming out in January.
Yes. Yeah.
And we have a clip of King's Fool, which has never been played before for an audience.
No.
At least the recording of it. Are you going to be playing this on like Tuesday, November 26th at Murphy's?
I do play it at Murphy's because some of the locals love it and they ask me to play it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go on the 26th or the 27th or the 28th or the 29th or the 30th, you can listen to King's Fool live. But let's take a listen to the actual clip that we've got. So once again, nobody's ever heard this before. This is very exciting. So this is from the album You Can't Run Out of Love from Siobhan O'Brien. This is King's Fool.
I am like a demon. I'm cursed with this desire.
It sounds so good.
Thank you.
So usually we'd have the whole clip at the end of the show. We don't have that this time because this is very exclusive. We do have something special, though. You brought a couple of albums
I did.
in that we can give away, I assume in
Actual
January.
albums, vinyl albums.
Vinyl albums. We have 2 of them.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is our email address is contact@anotherwastedhour.com. If you love what you just heard, reach out to us. Give us your email address or your actual physical address. And once it goes out for everybody else, we'll send you a copy, right?
Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Right, we don't want to like preempt you there. But we've got
You're
a couple
very
of
kind.
things.
Thank you.
So, but we want to get these out to listeners. If you're really enjoying what you heard, we have 2 copies. And we'll ship those out to the first couple of people that email us and want that.
And I also have a little bag of plectrums.
And guitar plex, which is what they call it in Ireland.
Plectrums, yeah.
Plectrums.
I don't know where that came from. It must be
Yeah.
an English thing. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but in the United States we call them guitar picks.
Yes.
So
yeah. There's a translation. Yeah.
Now I will say that if we send you an album, you have to let us give your email address over to Siobhan so that she can keep in touch with you.
Right.
All right. So
That's okay.
that's the only pass off. I think that's fair.
That's fair. That's totally
an
fair.
actual album for an email address. I think that's a good deal. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to a little this is like a game show that we've created called Please God Just Get One Right. This is also something turned down by Nashville.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. They said it was good, but not great.
Yeah, but I'm taking it to Austin next week. We're going to make a whole album out of that shit.
Yeah. You should go on a cruise. All right. So we have 6 questions brought to you by Mike Quinlan. He's a comedian who was here last show.
Okay.
He's doing a show up November 16th at Zizimo's Bar in Baltimore, Maryland for a charity called Sharp Dress Man. So if you want to, you could still make it out there and yell at him.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp dress man.
Yeah.
I love that band.
It's such a good band. And so if you don't like this category, you can go to that show and you can heckle him if you want to.
Okay.
But are you ready for your category?
Oh God, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Just flying by the seat of my pants.
Perfect.
Winging it. Okay.
So the category is insecticides.
Oh God. Okay.
I know. That's what we always say.
Okay.
That's how the show goes.
Let's go, Monsanto.
Adam, do it.
I think we had much the same reaction when we realized we had to come up with 6 questions about insecticides.
Yes.
Insecticides come in 2 groups: larvicides, which kill insect larvae, and a second group that kills the insect's eggs. What is the name of this second type of insecticide?
Larvicide.
Larvicide is the one that does the larvas.
Oh.
We already said that.
Sorry. What are you asking me?
Killing
And then the second group is the one that kills their eggs.
their eggs.
Oh.
And what is the name of that type?
Infanticide? Infanticide? Or what's that word?
Infanticide. Those are infants. Not eggs so much, but babies.
Exicide?
Exicide. A side of eggs.
Ovicides.
Oh,
Yeah.
ovum.
Yeah.
Egg, yes.
Yep.
I'm a female. I should have known that.
It's a weird thing to know. All right. Insecticides are often confused with pesticides.
Ooh.
Although a form of pesticides, as the name would suggest, insecticides are specifically formulated to kill insects. Besides insecticides and larvicides, there are 4 other types of pesticides. Can you name 2 of them?
Oh, sweet divine Jesus.
Yeah, other pesticides.
I think I glazed over halfway through that.
I like the honesty. That's the important thing.
Oh, you're going to get that with me.
That's good.
Oh, God. You want me to name 2?
2 types of pesticides that aren't insecticides or larvicides.
Why is this his...
He was a horrible man, right? We can all agree. That's
How
what I'm
does
saying.
anybody know that much about it? Only
He was
Monsanto.
Yeah.
Fuckers. Sorry.
In his defense, he was a comedian. They have a lot of darkness they're trying to deal with.
Yeah, he's a dark man.
I'm lost with that one. I'm sorry.
So the 4 that remain are herbicides.
Oh.
Those kill off
I have
pests.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they kill off pests that are plants. So it's pesticides are killing off pests. Rodenticides.
Oh, I never heard of that word.
Yeah, rodenticides are
Okay.
It would
Not
be
a
for
rhododendron,
rats.
not to be confused with a
Yes.
rhododendron. Yeah.
No, those are fine. Those aren't pests. Those are beautiful. So those are rats and mice. Bactericides, which are killing off bacteria. So very
Was he actually working for like Roundup or something?
No,
before?
I think he just hated you. I think he was like, who's coming up next? I'm going to make their life horrible.
God.
Last was fungicides. Those kill funguses.
And you say fungicides, don't you?
Fungicides.
Fungicides.
I say fungicides.
Do you? Because you're the first American I've heard that says fungicides. Because I
Really?
say fungicides and I've only heard them here say fungicides.
No, I'd say fungicides because it's a fungus.
Exactly. It's not,
a fungus. Yeah. It's good. All right.
Okay.
All right, Adam. So we got 2 down. We don't have them yet, but there's still chances. Adam,
Flit.
what do you have next?
Flit was the brand name of a popular insecticide in the U.S. from the 1920s all the way through the 50s, until DDT's harmful side effects were discovered. It had a very popular ad campaign titled Quick Henry the Flit in 1928, featuring people being threatened by these large insects. What then unknown author did the artwork for these ads?
So famous
for
author.
God's sake. Lads, I'm living in this country 2.5 years. I hardly know.
I guarantee you've heard of this person,
Yeah.
though.
At the time, he wasn't
Okay.
well known, but he is a
An
very
illustrator.
very well known author who happened to illustrate did the artwork for these ads.
Oh my God.
It's tough. These are difficult
I'm
questions.
thinking of like maybe like the Dr. Zeus people or the Grinch guy. What's
That was also Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
it was him?
That's
Yeah.
what's who did the
The Grinch.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? Oh God, the Snoopy guy? No.
I don't even know who the Snoopy guy is.
what's his name?
Yeah, I should know
I've
that.
got his jazz album. What is it? I just blanked, but
For the record, I think we can stop here.
you want to give it?
Yeah.
It was Dr. Seuss, actually.
Yeah.
way!
You got it.
Oh my
yeah.
God, that's so cool! I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm not competitive at all.
No. All right,
That's so cool.
you won. The rest
I
is
won one of my own albums. Yay!
Yeah. So we'll give you. I have prizes. You can get a
No
prize.
way.
But here's the thing: we've got 3 more questions.
Oh, God,
Let's
okay.
see how many more you can get. This is
Okay.
all icing.
I'm getting
now.
my brain cap on now.
Yeah. This is all icing. You've won the game. The game is please God just get one right. Right. So you've already won. So next one, although not part of the insecta class, therefore not an insect. What type of creature is often also controlled using insecticides? So it is not an insect, but you would probably use insecticides if you had a problem with this particular creature.
So it's not a cockroach. Is that considered an insect?
I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a cockroach scientist, which I assume is a
Is it like they can't kill squirrels? Sure, they can't.
I mean, you can, but just for fun.
Oh God, I think they're so cute.
Yeah. But you should see them bounce.
They're fascinating to watch. I love them.
Yeah.
Because we can't see squirrels at home. Anyway,
There's
back
something
to the
majestic about
insecticides.
there's something majestic about the way they skip across the top of a lake.
Oh wow! Have you haven't seen that? You're thinking about a flying squirrel.
If you throw them hard enough, they
Stop!
What?
That's terrible.
What?
Poor old squirrels.
Oh, they can swim.
Not if their little bushy tail gets wet.
That's true.
That's nearly transparent. That tail.
It's just all fuzz.
It's just
There's
amazing.
nothing underneath there. All right, so
Okay,
what is
hang
the-
on. I'm. Oh God.
What is your
I don't know.
answer?
I'm going to say frogs.
Frogs. Good answer. Spiders.
Oh,
That's the right
okay.
answer. Yeah. So if you have a spider
spiders
problem,
are not insects?
no, they're arachnids. It's a totally different.
Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a different group.
Silly.
Mm.
Yeah, you're kind of confounding me. I'm sorry.
All right, Adam.
Kind of a long one. DDT was first synthesized in 1874 and discovered to be an effective insecticide in 1939. It immediately became very popular and widespread as a safer alternative since most insecticides at the time were made with lead or arsenic.
Ooh.
Mhm.
This is until in 1962 when Rachel Carson published a book detailing the effects of the chemical on the environment. This is where we get the stuff about, making birds' eggs shells very thin,
Ooh, okay.
decimating bird populations, that whole thing.
All the bad DDT things.
Mm.
What was the name of her book that eventually led to the banning of DDT?
So this is what kicked it all off. They read the book and they were like, we need to ban this. What was the name of that book?
It was called Big Yellow Taxi. Hey, farmer, put away that DDT now.
It does say it in that.
Paradise, put up a parking lot.
She nailed it.
Ooh, ba, 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 ooh. Anyway.
Bit later than
No, let me have
1962.
another guess. Oh, Jesus. What, the woman's name?
No, the name of the
Rachel
book.
Carson.
The name of the
The
Rachel
name
Carson
of the
is
book.
Rachel
Oh, my-
Carson wrote it.
Yeah.
What's the name of her book?
No idea.
I think it was Big Yellow Taxi. Adam, what is it?
Silent Spring.
Well, I never would have gotten that.
No, I don't know why we spent so much time on it. As of
Wow,
ni-
1 out of 5. Good girl, Siobhan. That's good.
As of 1999, imidacloprid was the most widely used insecticide in the world in a wide range of products, including, for instance, Advantage flea control, like something you put on your dog,
Yeah.
right? Although it is now off patent, what company originally owned the patent for this compound?
Bear.
It is 2. You got 2 of them. Oh, you're killing it.
I am good enough for Nashville.
They would have gotten none right. They would have gotten none of these right. It's Bayer Crop Science, which is a subsidiary of Bayer. But yeah, Bayer actually is.
Because I hate those guys. That's
Yeah.
why I know.
All right, so you get a gift from my bag here.
Oh my God.
I'm going to pick it up. You have to think of a category. What's the category for the next guest?
Oh, sweet. It's divine.
While you're doing that, you reach into my sack.
Oh,
and
Jesus, Mary and
pull
Joseph.
something out. Yeah, whatever you
I
want
can't
in
look,
there.
no?
Yeah, grab.
If it looks you back, just
Oh my God,
withdraw
I
your
got a
hand immediately.
strange friend and it's not a penguin.
It's not a penguin.
Oh, sweet. Oh, it's UG Pigeon. What's his name? UG Pigeon. Yeah. He's got like the bird head, like the guy in Sesame Street, the fellow who reads the news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you go to Siobhan's show on either Tuesday, November 26th, or Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday,
I
or
will show you
Saturday,
my strange friend.
you can meet her strange friend.
And it won't be in a strange pocket.
And it won't be in a strange pocket. That's up at Murphy's in Alexandria, Virginia. What is next week's category? Tell us.
The Muppets.
The Muppets. All right.
Good topic.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's
Muppets.
so much to talk about with that.
Oh, that's great. All right.
Hey, sorry, can I just say, do you think that the girl in the band in the Muppets is based on Joni Mitchell?
I mean, she looks very similar. Yeah, I could see that.
And the saxophone player looks like James McMurtry.
That's
He just
fair.
has the same fucking head as him.
Yeah.
Oh
that
my
might be
God,
it.
it's great.
Oh,
okay.
that's interesting. All right, so let's get into near and far because we want to find a little bit about you. We've only got just a few minutes
Okay.
left, about 5 minutes. So we've got 2 stories. We talked a little bit about the first one, so I think I want to jump into that. You said trying to be like the presumptions that people have as you as an Irish woman.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult thing to kind of to come to terms with. Is
Well,
difficult
I mean,
to deal with.
sometimes I feel like I'm being a brat talking about it, and I mean,
No, I
it's
think
not
you
that
sh-
it's
yeah.
not that I don't appreciate, bar gigs and all that kind of thing. it's a job. It's a job, right?
Sure.
I have a bigger goal, and I want to do my own music and in little concerts, and and that's what I want to do.
Right.
So I'm only here 2.5 years, so I've got to, make a living, whatever.
Yes.
So, but I literally have been abused verbally by mostly women. And younger ones, because I don't know the unicorn song.
The unicorn song.
Which is absolutely ridiculous in the scheme of life. And
you would expect them to come at you with like a 2, like, oh, you don't know it? That sucks. But they come at you like a 10.
It's like the first girl, when you play the unicorn song. I'm sorry, I don't do that. And the next song later, she sends her friend up from the thing. Will you play the unicorn song? Look, I said, I told your friend, I don't do this song. Third friend comes up after the third song. When you play the unicorn song, you told my friends you can't, but why won't you play it? And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? And I'm like, no, I don't know it, and I wouldn't sing it anyway. And it's not. And she goes, you came over to this country and you are saying that our grandparents are irrelevant by not singing that song. And I'm like,
what?
Oh my God, what planet do you live on? What planet do you live on? And left a note at the end of the gig with $1 wrapped around it for my measly tip on purpose to make me feel small, which didn't work. And said, that's what she said. How dare you come into our country and demean what our grandparents taught us, and it is part of our heritage. And just like ridiculous. It's kind of... I don't know what it is. It's just ignorant, really, is what it is.
Why would you play children's songs at a bar?
Because they, in their mind, in their little bubble, in their little world, heard it from their grandparents and the Irish Rovers, and they think that whatever.
No, that's great. But I'm saying, if isn't playing children's music at a bar worse? Like, and a place where there's alcohol and everything, and you're saying, let's do children's music.
To them, it's not a children's song. It's actually a nostalgic thing, which I get. And I mean, because I listen to Frankie Lane, Hell for Leather songs with my father and my brothers.
Sure.
Bowie knife, but no one's I'm not going to ask anyone to sing that in a bar,
Sure.
So anyway, that's my near story.
You should get them to sing it.
Oh, I know. That's what I actually, no, I couldn't even watch that really.
And just look at them like, what the hell is
But they're
wrong
always
with you?
usually very, very drunk. And I keep forgetting that I'm in a bar. It's so stupid, I swear.
All right, anyway. So we have a minute and a half left. You had a really cool story about being a guest singer.
Well, right? I'm Bob Dylan asked me to sing The Fox Went Out on a Chilly Night with him, but I didn't.
Well, that's the good news. I'm glad you went straight to the punchline on that one.
Well,
you didn't hold up on us.
Well, the punchline is that I said no. I was.
Did you not know who he was?
Oh God, no, I did.
Was he?
It's a very, very long story, but
was he trying to get you to sing Unicorn?
No, thank God. I would have known that song then, but it would have been from Burr Lives. But anyway, actually the Fox Went Out on a Chilly Night I would have known from Burr Lives too.
Sure.
I ended up singing him all these bits of other songs, and he just was really enjoying it. And then he just said, "Hey, maybe you'll sing that with me." And I said, "Oh no, I don't know all the words." And he goes, "Maybe you will, maybe you won't, and that's okay too." He was so lovely. He was just so lovely.
I think that's what a great window into what it is to be a performer, right? Like, I think you get to a point in your career where you realize you start off like perfection. Everything has to be perfect and everything else. And then you start to realize that you're creating these moments and memories, and they don't have to be perfect. They have to be genuine. They have
Absolutely.
They have to be connected. They have to
Absolutely.
They have to be something that someone
They have to be in the flow.
Yeah. So that's such a really neat way of saying that. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers, Keith and Adam. Thanks a million.
Absolutely. Once again, Tuesday, November 26th, then the 27th, then the 28th, then the 29th, and then the 30th up at Murphy's in Alexandria in Virginia. Go check out Siobhan O'Brien. Go up to SiobhanO'Brien.com, SiobhanO'Brien.com for more. Check out her album coming out in January. Has King Spool on it. It's called You Can't Run Out of Love. Email us at contact@anotherwastehour to get your copy.
Slán let.
Yes, absolutely. Also, don't forget to like us and do all of those different things. Go on Facebook. We can't do this without you. Don't forget to review us on Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. If you're an artist, musician, or culture creator in the DC area, we want you on our show. Email us at bookinganotherwaystohour.com. Thanks to everybody for all their contributions. Most of all, thanks to our guest, Siobhan O'Brien, and you, our fans, for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been Another Wasted Hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.